When my 17-year-old daughter Lily was barred from my sister's wedding, I didn't argue or plead for an exemption. I simply stated, "We won't be attending," and left it at that. My name is Charlotte Miller. I'm 39, a nurse practitioner living in Vermont, and I've been Lily's mom since she was 3. She entered my life with large, quiet eyes that seemed to observe everything around her. Initially, she didn't speak much, preferring to watch as if she was still deciding whether the world was safe. The first time she called me Mom, I cried alone in the car after preschool drop-off. That moment meant everything to me. From the beginning, I promised her she would never feel unwanted in my family again. I thought I was fulfilling that promise, until the wedding. Last spring, my younger sister Brittany announced her engagement. Big news, a sparkling ring, an Instagram caption that read like a bridal magazine ad. I congratulated her, of course. Lily even made her a card, carefully crafted with paper bells and glitter, pouring so much effort into it that my heart ached. Brittany smiled when she saw it, called it sweet, then casually tossed it into the backseat of her car. I found it weeks later, crushed beneath a fast food wrapper. But Lily remained excited. She kept browsing dresses online, asking whether she should wear her hair up or down, wondering if she'd get to help decorate. I could see her hope, her nerves, but above all, her hope. Then came the invitation, a heavy, glossy envelope with gold trim. I opened it at the kitchen counter while Lily was doing homework at the table. It listed the usual details: date, time, dress code. But then I saw the line that changed everything. Adults only, 18 and over, strictly enforced, no exceptions. I read it twice. Lily glanced up from her notebook and asked, "She doesn't want me there." I responded, "It's an 18 and over wedding." My voice was steady but my hands trembled. She was silent for a moment, then asked, "Is it because I'm adopted?" That question struck a nerve deep inside me. She didn't say it with tears or anger, just a flat, tired tone, like she'd suspected it all along. I quickly reassured her, "No, absolutely not." But I knew what she meant. I knew exactly what she was asking. That wasn't the first time Lily had felt like an outsider. It was often subtle, when my mom referred to her as Charlotte's girl, instead of by her name, when Brittany said, "Your daughter," as if Lily were some neighbor's kid tagging along, not her niece. I held on to hope that these were unintentional, that maybe they were still adjusting, and that if I explained, smiled enough and stayed patient, they'd come around. But the signs stacked up. Like the time we attended a family dinner and Lily offered to help in the kitchen. No one acknowledged her. She stood by the sink with a plate of vegetables, unsure what to do. Or at Easter, when every grandchild received a personalized basket, except Lily, hers just read, "Happy Spring" in generic lettering. She didn't complain, she just smiled politely as always. The first time I saw her truly disappointed was when she drew a family picture. Me, her, and my husband Eric, and gave it to my mom. It was bright, full of hearts. My mom simply said, "Thank you," and set it aside. Later, Lily asked why it wasn't on the fridge like her cousin's drawings. I didn't have an answer. I wanted to believe they didn't realize how their actions affected her, but over time I knew better. When Lily was 6, she told my dad she wanted to be an artist. He chuckled and said she'd need a more practical plan. At 8, she wanted to help plan a family event, and Brittany dismissed her with a, "Maybe let the grown-ups handle it." It was always subtle, never outright cruel, but enough to make Lily hesitate. I thought I could fix it by including her, by showing up for her birthdays, school plays, her life. But the more we tried, the clearer it became. They never fully accepted that Lily was here to stay. I think some of them still believed I'd have my own child someday, that Lily was just a temporary chapter, a noble gesture they could applaud from afar. They never said it outright, but the wedding invitation was the unmistakable line in the sand. She's not really part of us. Not where it counts. I didn't respond to the invitation. I didn't call Brittany or try to argue. I simply went online and clicked, "Not attending." No explanation. Just no. The next day my phone lit up with messages from her. First from Brittany, "Hey, just saw your RSVP. Is everything okay?" Then another, "If this is about the age thing, I hope you understand. We're being consistent with everyone. Nothing personal, right?" But it was. Lily wasn't some distant cousin or a coworker's kid. She was Brittany's niece, my daughter, who had made a card, picked a dress, asked about hairstyles. He wanted to be part of it. And now all of that was dismissed as a technicality. I didn't reply. Hours later, my sister Melissa messaged me and then my mother called, something they only do when something's wrong. I answered with a sinking feeling. My mother asked, I heard you're not going to the wedding. Is this really about the age limit? I told her Lily wasn't invited and I wouldn't go without her. She hesitated, then said, she's almost 18. She's family. That was it. No apology, no acknowledgement of how Lily might feel. Just, don't punish your sister over this. It's just one night. I didn't argue. I simply said, we're not going, and hung up. That should have been the end of it. But it wasn't. The group chat started buzzing. Melissa accused me of causing drama over one rule. Brittany insisted it wasn't about Lily, and my mom sent a long message about forgiveness and family, about how hard it can be to be caught in the middle. I knew in my heart that this wasn't just about a wedding invitation. It was about acceptance, belonging, and the unspoken message that Lily didn't truly belong where it mattered most. And in that moment I made my choice, silent but firm. We wouldn't be there. Meanwhile, Lily deleted the photos of her dress from her phone, quietly erasing the images as if they no longer mattered, like she had expected this all along. She didn't cry or lash out. She just removed the pictures without protest, as if more than the wedding or the texts, what hurt her the most was the quiet confirmation that she wasn't truly seen. Deep down she already knew it. She had learned it long ago, what I had spent so much time trying to ignore. Time moved on. The wedding came and went. No apologies, no explanations, no acknowledgement. It was as if they expected everything to revert to normal, as if Lily's absence was just a minor inconvenience rather than a wound that never healed. Then December arrived. Every year I hosted Christmas, our tradition. I cooked, cleaned, pulled out extra chairs from the garage and set up the big table leaf. I did it all, even when I was exhausted or didn't feel like celebrating. But this year I didn't. When Eric asked, should I order the chairs? I simply shook my head. No extra seats this year. He understood, as did Lily. The silence between us was heavy, but it spoke volumes. By mid-December the messages started to come in. Melissa, are we still doing Christmas Eve dinner at your place? Let me know what I should bring. Brittany, of course, will be 5 again. Let me know if Lily wants anything special this year. If she's even going to be there this time. That one almost broke me. As if Lily had chosen to skip the wedding, as if her absence was some teenage rebellion, rather than a deliberate act of exclusion. I didn't reply to any of it. For the first time in years I didn't clean, decorate, or prepare. I didn't pretend. When they called or messaged I ignored it all. Eventually they started leaving voicemails. My mother, Melissa, Brittany. My dad even left a message. Charlotte, we just want to know what's going on. Your mother's upset. It's not too late to do the right thing. The right thing, as if welcoming those who had excluded my daughter would somehow fix everything. As if feeding them dinner would erase the pain they'd never acknowledged. That Christmas we stayed home. Instead of hosting, we made lasagna in our pajamas. Lily baked sugar cookies in strange shapes that barely held together. We watched movies, laughed, and opened presents early. No masks, no passive-aggressive comments, no silences when Lily walked into the room. It was quiet, peaceful, complete. And in that stillness I realized something. I'd mistaken tradition for love. I'd confused obligation with genuine connection. I thought hosting meant I mattered, that holding everything together made me part of something real. But that Christmas, without the noise and pretense, I saw it clearly. Peace isn't silence because everything's fine. It's silence because nothing is being ignored. A few days after Christmas, Lily was curled up on the couch under her favorite blanket, sketching in her notebook. She always drew when she needed to process something. People, feelings, moments too big for words. I was folding laundry nearby when she paused, her pencil hovering over the paper. Without looking up, she asked, if I wasn't adopted, do you think they'd like me more? The question hit me like a heavy weight I wasn't prepared for. I sat beside her, quiet for a moment before answering gently, they might have pretended better. But the way they treat people who aren't like them, that's never about you. She looked at me with those same serious, older-than-her eyes, that kind of gaze that sees everything, things no one else wants to admit. She looked at me with calm finality and said, I don't think I want them to like me anymore. Not bitter, not angry, just a clear, protective decision. And in that moment I realized I no longer needed to wait for an apology. I had spent so long trying to keep the peace, making excuses, hoping they'd come around if I just stayed kind and patient. But Lily wasn't small. She was strong. She was clear. If she had the courage to set boundaries, then I would have the courage to hold them. A few days later my father called again. I didn't answer. Instead I saw his message. Your mother isn't sleeping. She feels like she's lost you. We know we messed up, but that doesn't justify shutting everyone out. That's not who you are. I stared at that message for a long time. That's not who you are. For a while I wondered if I was too harsh, too sensitive, too cold. But I realized this is who I am now. Someone who finally understands what she will and won't accept. Love isn't about keeping peace at the cost of your child's dignity. It's not about pretending everything's fine. It's about standing firm, protecting what truly matters. Then came the final blow, a voice message from Brittany. Carefully measured, sugar-coated words hiding a sharp edge. I just think it's sad, Charlotte. You always made such a big deal about how much you love Lily, but now it feels like you're using her as a shield. Like any time someone doesn't treat her like royalty, you cut them out. That's not healthy. That's not parenting. That's obsession. I didn't listen to the rest. I deleted the message and blocked her number. Because if loving Lily fiercely without apology is considered obsession, then so be it. Yes, I am obsessed. Obsessed with showing my daughter she deserves to be included, that she doesn't have to earn love by being quiet or easy to ignore. That she should never mistake tolerance for acceptance. I'm obsessed with protecting her. The one person who never had the benefit of the doubt. The one who had to prove she belonged in a family that claimed to love her but never quite knew how. And I don't regret it. I regret the years I stayed silent, the holidays I invited people who treated her like she was an afterthought, the birthdays where she smiled politely while others barely looked her way, the thank yous she offered to those who never bothered to learn her name, her favorite color, her laugh. I regret every moment I tried to keep the peace instead of standing up for her. But not anymore. Lily doesn't ask for much. She never has. What she needs, what she's always needed, is a mother who chooses her every time. That's who I am now. Not the keeper of family traditions, not the peacekeeper or the event planner who smooths over discomfort. I am Lily's mother. And if that means closing the door on those who can't see her worth, I will do so quietly, gently, but for good. Because this isn't about revenge. It's about love. Love that's fierce. Love that's unapologetic. Love that says you matter. And I will never let anyone make her feel otherwise. The new year arrived quietly without countdown or fanfare. Just the three of us, me, Eric, and Lily, sitting by the fireplace playing a board game she got for Christmas, laughing at how terrible we all were. And in that silence I finally felt something I hadn't in years. Relief. I wasn't waiting anymore. Not for the next text, the next comment, or the next awkward dinner. I was simply living with my family. My real family. Looking back, I see so many moments when I could have spoken up louder sooner. But healing doesn't always come with a grand speech. Sometimes it begins with one small change. Saying no, not setting out extra chairs, allowing silence to speak for itself. And when I think about Lily's question, do you think they'd like me more if I wasn't adopted? I still feel the weight of it. But I'm proud of her answer. I don't think I want them to like me anymore. Because that wasn't bitterness. It was clarity. The most important lesson I could teach her. That love isn't supposed to hurt, that it doesn't ask you to earn your place, and that it doesn't disappear when you simply exist and refuse to be ignored. So if you're listening and you've ever faced a choice between peace and pretending, know that it's okay to stop explaining, to stop hoping they'll change. It's okay to protect your child, your heart, your peace, even if it means disappointing others. Because love that asks you to shrink isn't love at all. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you've ever stood your ground for someone you love, tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, sometimes silence is the loudest, most powerful truth you can give.